So your Virginia personal injury attorney won't call you back and you're not sure what to do? Well, watch this video and I'll let you know what I think. Hey folks, James Abrenio coming to you from Abrenio Law, your Northern Virginia personal injury and criminal defense law firm. In this video, I want to talk about a question that I've been getting a lot lately. I've been getting a lot of calls from individuals that tell me that they're currently represented by an attorney. That attorney, despite them reaching out multiple times, sending emails, even trying sometimes to drop by their office, won't return their calls. They can't get them on the phone. Sometimes they get an opportunity to probably speak to a paralegal or a legal assistant, but the attorney simply won't get on the phone with them. And I can say from a personal standpoint, from a litigation and practitioner standpoints, I will say that I can feel the pain of you if you're a client of somebody and you just really want your case wrapped up. And to be clear, this attorney is not going to be, hey, fire that attorney, give me a call. The reality is when you hire an attorney, that's an important decision. It's a hard decision to make, especially if you've been invested with an attorney for a while. And you know, you're deep into your case. You just want the thing to resolve and you want to move on with your life. Changing attorneys can be a very difficult thing. Number one, it's hard to have that call. Attorneys are a lot of times intimidating. It's essentially a confrontational discussion, or it's a very uncomfortable discussion, to say the least. And you don't want to have that conversation. And I imagine you just want your case done. If they just do their job, you'd be happy. So my suggestion is always give the attorney another opportunity unless you're at a stage in your case. For instance, there's a statute of limitations that's quickly running, and there's some urgent action that needs to be made. And let's say you have some time on your case. I would recommend, before you make any rash decisions, I would give the attorney a call and say that you want to meet with them in person. Now, it's June of 2021 right now. It sounds like COVID is opening back up. Everything's opening back up soon, and I'm hoping that we're going to move in that direction where at some point we can have in-office meetings regularly, and there's no issue with that. I worry about what's going to happen in the future, but as it stands today, I think most attorneys are willing to meet with you in person, but for some COVID issues. And if they're not, the very least, say that you want to have a Zoom video conference where you can look at somebody eye to eye and tell them your concerns. Look, Mr. Smith, look, Mrs. Smith, I respect you as an attorney, but I'm really worried about my case. You came highly recommended by a friend or family member. I just want it done, and I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need. I'm worried that my case is getting pushed to the side. I'm worried that something's going to happen, and I just want to feel better about that. And if you meet with me or do a Zoom call with me, it go a long way. I find oftentimes, even in my own practice, when clients are frustrated, it's usually just the anxiety of not knowing what's going on. I find that if I can save hours of stress with a client by having a sort of regular 5-minute phone call or a quick text, I'd prefer to do that. It ends up saving a lot of time on both of our ends. And I hope that most attorneys would be in a position to do the same. I think that in our world of instant consumer contact and things like that, most attorneys are coming around to the idea that, hey, we need to be more communicative with our clients. We can't just rely on, hey, we know what we're doing. You don't really need to know what's going on. Just trust us. Our clients are more educated about the product that they're purchasing, which is us, and I think that's a good thing. So hopefully you'll be able to get your attorney on the phone. If they're not still responding, I would put something in writing and say, look, I've tried to reach out to you multiple times. I've tried to schedule an appointment with you multiple times. And I also put a deadline on there. If I don't hear from you in 30 days or 15 days or whatever is appropriate, I'm going to start looking for another attorney. I also find that honey is better than salt in a lot of ways. Insulting people and being disrespectful, that doesn't go very far from a persuasive standpoint. And that's also just not persuasive at all. And it creates animosity. I think if you send a nice letter, if it were me sending that letter, I'd probably say, look, I trust you as an attorney, and you've been great to work with so far, and throw some compliments in there. And hopefully you can get them to get you on the phone or get an in-person meeting, and give them that opportunity to fix things. Some attorneys are very busy. They've got a lot of things going on. Most good attorneys are. Now, that being said, I also want to caveat this with, you shouldn't expect an attorney to be on your beck and call. My own clients, they understand that while they can certainly reach me if needed to be, multiple phone calls every day is not going to fly with me. I always tell people, I demand the respect that you demand from me, and same way around. So if I call you, I expect you to call me back timely. I want you to expect the same from me. But at the end of the day, I think that really respect is really the important thing. So give them the opportunity to fix it. And if they're still not getting it done, well, at the end of the day, it is your case. You have a right to fire an attorney, and it may, again, cause complications. Perhaps the insurance company thinks that you're not being fair, and they're a difficult client, all those kinds of things. And perhaps it makes your negotiation positioning a little bit weaker, but it is what it is. If you have an attorney that's not willing to do their job, then at the end of the day, you also should be taking efforts into your own hands to make sure, especially if you know your rights are not being protected, to try to protect those rights. I have on occasion represented individuals that have had to let their former attorneys go, and I ended up taking over the case, and things worked out well. I prefer not to do that. This video is not call me and hire me. I know you got a great attorney. In fact, a lot of times people will call me and really ask me second opinions as to what their attorney thinks, even though that attorney is doing a great job. And I'll tell them, look, I'm not going to step in and give you my opinion, especially if I know the attorney and I know their quality, because I don't think that's fair to that attorney. There also may be things about the case that I don't know about that the attorney does. If an attorney has your case, they're going to be hopefully much more intimately aware about the facts of your case than I would be, since I haven't looked at a record. And so, of course, you have every right to ask another attorney the opinion, but if your attorney is doing a good job, you just want to get a second opinion, you're free to do that again. But hopefully you've developed a level of trust if your attorney is responding to you and answering your questions and things like that. Now, I hope this video answered your question and gave you a little bit of a game plan as far as what to do next. And I hope ultimately you're able to resolve your case right now with your client, with your current attorney. You don't have to essentially change horses in the middle of a race, because again, I think that creates unnecessary stress. And hopefully just a little nudging will get you where you need to be. Of course, if you have other questions, you can always reach out to us, www.abreniolaw.com. I do wish you the best, and take care. Thanks.